What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cool Fred's Garage. This is Cool Fred here. Today we'll be working on my truck, the 2016 Ram 1500. What's going on with it is the water pump went bad, or it's starting to go bad. It's not completely bad yet, but I would say it's bad because it's starting to leak coolant. We'll go over there in a second and check it out, but this is what I got to replace the water pump with. This new Mopar water pump. Got this from Rock Auto. I went on and I chose to get the Mopar water pump. Well, for one, it's the manufacturer's brand. You're gonna get the best results and probably the most reliability out of it. But basically, I read the description, so it comes with the gasket. It also comes with the temp sensor and these fittings, because I guess you would have to, on some of the aftermarket ones, they had like some AC. They had an AC Delco. They had a Gates and some other ones. You would have to swap out some of the things, like I'm assuming this. I put a thermostat in it a little over a year ago, so the thermostat is new, so I'm just gonna swap the new thermostat in there. And also, while I'm there, because this truck has 121,000 miles on it, it's a 2016, so I bought it new, so I put all the miles on it. But while I'm in there, it's kind of something that I was thinking about for a while anyway, checking the belts and the pulleys. But I'm gonna go ahead and put a new belt tensioner on there and a belt in the idler pulley, so just to improve the reliability. So this right here is the part number for the Mopar water pump. So that's it right there, and this is the belt that I'm gonna replace and put on there. So I chose all Continental stuff. They make a lot of OE stuff for other manufacturers. And this is a Continental Belt Tensioner. So you want the part number for the belt tensioner. That's the part number for the belt tensioner, the 49345. And then this is the part number for the idler pulley, 49024. And of course the belt is this part number right there. So we're going out to the truck and check it and see what's going on. I'm probably got to go out and get a tool. I would be able to use this, but it doesn't go wide enough. So I'm about to get another. I'm about to stop by the hardware store somewhere, get a tool that can get the fan clutch off. This is what we got going on. So pretty much the telltale sign is there was some coolant residue leaking. It's not leaking all the time, but let's see here. All right, so pretty much I want to say maybe about a week and a half ago, was getting ready to go to the movies to go see the new Fast and Furious, the Fast 10 movie, and I was getting a little bit of a slight knocking noise from the belt drive, but then it went away. And I was listening up on here with a stethoscope and just some extra tools I had on hand from work, and I couldn't really determine what's going on. But sure enough, the other day it started leaking coolant, and I can see the traces of coolant coming kind of from the water pump. And sure enough, this is a telltale sign too, that you can rock the pulley back and forth. It's probably a little tricky to see. There we go. So it's got a little play in the pulley. So that's definitely bad. So I guess pretty much the number one thing is I got to get some type of tool to pop that fan clutch loose. So I'm probably gonna run out and go grab something to eat and probably run by Home Depot or somewhere, see if I can grab something. But worst case scenario, I have to order something on Amazon, so I just have to drive one of my other vehicles to work. But it's not gonna take too long to get this knocked out, so that's pretty much the next project. All right, guys, welcome back to Cool Fred's Garage. Let's see, the holdup. Basically, the holdup was I needed to get a fan clutch tool the other day, so I actually ordered 2 of them from Amazon. But this one right here was the cheapest one. So it's a 36mm on one side and a 32mm on the other side. And the other one is this CTA tool. I just kind of wanted to have just 2 different options, but I'm pretty much gonna wind up using this one right here. This one is more like a generic brand. That's the part number there. I think this was like maybe like $17.99 to $18. And this one is longer. This one right here is longer than this CTA tool. So ordered these from Amazon. It was like maybe the overnight shipping, free overnight shipping next day. So that was one little thing to kind of help out. But so this one from CTA, I'm gonna end up sending this one back. What made me want to get it, because it appeared to be a little bit thicker. I think it is slightly thicker, maybe about a few millimeters. It is a CTA brand, but it's a 36mm on one side and a 48 on the other. I'm not sure what you would use the 48 for. Maybe like some big semi-truck clutch fans or something like that. I'm not sure. But so the good thing about Amazon, if you order something off there, you can just take it down to your local Kohl's, and you can take it down to the local Kohl's and do an easy return and just drop it off. So that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get in here and get this thing out of here. All right, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery. I really don't see a reason to disconnect the battery, but it doesn't hurt anything. I don't see anything electrical that I'm gonna be working around, but it's not a bad habit. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect that joker. All right, so pretty much what I did was I had to go ahead and just kind of get organized a little bit so I can have a good place to work. So I cleared off my work cart, my little roll cart here, cleaned this off, put a piece of cardboard there. So pretty much I believe the water pump sits something like that. So I'm gonna take the bolts out one at a time and put the old bolts in here. Go ahead and start by draining the coolant. I've already got that battery disconnected there, so this little fan connector, pretty much you just pop that off, a couple 13mm for the fan shroud. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the fan clutch loose. Well, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start draining the coolant, and then on this fan shroud here, let me see if I can get up under here. But there's supposedly like maybe 3 push pins to get that out, so the whole thing will come out. A little tricky to see, but there's one right there, one over there, and one right here. So let me do that real quick, get that going, and continue on. All right, so I got this coolant draining. I got those 3 little push pins from the bottom. So I'm gonna pop this fan clutch loose real quick. This one outside, it's 32mm side. So here we go. Just gonna put a little gentle pressure towards it. I'm actually holding it up here, it's probably a little tricky to see. But there we go. So it broke right on loose. So it's supposed to come off counterclockwise. When it comes off clockwise, it screws on counterclockwise because it's reverse thread. So go ahead and grab my pliers and get these holes loose. So these right here are the pliers I'm gonna use. These are some there's some old Matco what they call these pressure spring clamp for the I guess these are called constant pressure springs. So I'm gonna use this to get these things loose. I'm just gonna kind of just slide it on down there like that and just leave it there. Alright, so this thing right here was a little tricky, but I was able to get it out with this pick. Maybe if my pick was a little sharper, I kind of got a boogered up end on there. But maybe if it was a little bit sharper, it would come on out with no issue. But basically, it's just like a little upward, a little lock that go up on it. Then you can get it out. So got the bad boy out. All right, so for this hose at the thermostat housing, I'm gonna use something a little bit different. I'm gonna use these pliers right here. Just gonna slide them up on the hose. So pretty much my trick for if I get a hose that's a little tricky to remove, I get something like this. This is it's made by Laos. It's a hose pick tool. I'll spray a little WD-40 on there, and I'll come up under it. So you don't want to puncture the rubber, you just want to just kind of ease in there around it and just kind of work it loose. Then it'll slide on off. All right, I got myself some power tools here. All I gotta say is I don't want to drop this bad boy on the ground and break it. There we go. All right, so this is what we want right here. I want to say I've seen a few people do it a little bit different, but I don't think it matters. But I do have to loosen this bracket right here for this right here. So, and then I guess pop that out. I'm not sure if I need to pop out the bracket, but I probably will though. So I'll probably pop that out, loosen this bracket and that there, and then we ought to be in business. And I'm just gonna I'm just gonna move this housing here out of the way. Just kind of sneak it off to the side. Like I said, on this vehicle right here, I've already placed the I've done a coolant flush, so I'm probably gonna end up recycling most of this coolant. I got a little bit. Let me see. Got a little bit right here, but I'm probably gonna. That coolant there is pretty much like less than a year old, so I'm probably gonna end up putting most of that back in here. I guess I'm gonna tighten this back up since I'm down in here. That's the drain cot. I'm pretty much just gonna go ahead and take a picture of this belt drive. Take a couple pictures. Actually, from the top, where I'm standing at, is probably the best. Like right here, this is probably the best picture you can get. Alright, go ahead and get this loose. I guess the tensioner is not too bad. I'm gonna replace it anyway, but it's got a nice solid tension on it. So actually, I'm glad I went on and got a belt because it's not terribly bad, but it is starting to get some cracks in it. So it's got several cracks throughout the belt. Probably like every few, like inch and a half, few inches there. So I've got a bunch of cracks in it. So this pulley right here don't seem too bad. But while I'm in here, I'm gonna go ahead and replace those. Oh boy. This right here is pretty bad. It's probably one of the worst ones I've seen. So I'm glad this thing didn't sling a belt while I was out driving it. So pretty much once I saw it leaking, I went on and just parked it. Alright, so I got the thermostat out of the way, and I went on and loosened this bracket up here. So I got this bad boy out of the way. There's a little wire harness right there for like the throttle and the air intake, but I'm probably just gonna leave that in the area and just like let it hang, because it shouldn't interfere with my bolts down there. Alright, so next up I'm gonna remove this belt tensioner. Alright, so I got that belt tensioner out of the way, so I can start getting ready to remove some of the bolts. So that's one right there. That's another one. There's one right here, right there. So I'm pretty much just gonna take them one by one. I do got a picture diagram of how they come out, but what I focus on now is I gotta get the lower radiator hose loose and these heater hose. So This one right here, that one says top engine, so that one goes to the top, and then this other one here goes to the right of it. I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture of that anyway, so there's no confusion. I'm just gonna slide those up like that. Let's see if I can get on this one. There we go. Let me get this bottom one. So just slide that bad boy right there. And I'm gonna try to see if I can just twist them out. If not, I'm gonna get some WD-40 and do the same thing I did with the other hose. Work those out of there. Alright, so for the remainder of these hoses, this lower radiator hose, that's enough what I just pretty much get my hose pick tool in there. Just to kind of break them loose. Still got a little area on the bottom that don't want to come like down there, so I'm gonna go around there one more time with my pick and it should be ready to go. Alright, so I finally got this bad boy loose after messing around with it for a little bit. So I'm gonna try to get this out of the way so it's not keep flopping around. I'm just gonna set it off to the side right there, the top thermostat housing, and got a connector right here for the temp sensor. So this little lock here goes up and down, and you just push this tab in it, push it in, and it just slides right up. So as I mentioned before, this is the Mopar Water Pump. So bought a Mopar replacement, and it has the temp sensor, and it has this pipe and this nipple already on the new pump, so you don't have to worry about that. So my next step is to go ahead and start removing some of these water pump bolts. I think I'm gonna start with this one right here. Well, I was gonna start with that one. I was gonna start with this one with the stud, because that one goes in a particular location, but when I get it, I'm gonna make sure that I transfer it over on my other one where it goes. So pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a bolt out and I'm gonna put it over here where it goes. I'm gonna try to position this the same way as the one that's on the truck, like that there, and that way I can kind of keep up with everything. So this one goes up here by that temp sensor. Alright, so pretty much the number one reason why you want to keep up with your bolts is because there are some longer and some shorter ones. So just to kind of reduce the confusion, it's best to just kind of transfer them over to the new one temporarily and just size them up like that. I'm assuming these right here are long like that because they also go through the timing cover. Here's another long one. That's a short one. So there's another long one here at the top. That goes right there. So this guy right here, where this stud is, that's a 15 millimeter. And I think I got that one and this one, and I should be out with this one and this one over here. This guy right here is super long. Actually, I thought it was those two, but there's actually one right here, kind of sneaking right there. So it's these two, and then I hope I'm out. Gotta switch out my tool. By the way, this tool I'm using is a magnetic socket by I believe it's Gray Pneumatic. So I use these at work. So basically, when I try to take these bolts out of here and they don't want to come right away, it's because it's a magnet on the end. Alrighty, so all my bolts look like they're in a hole over here. So that means it's ready to come off. So looks like I can get something to maybe pry in between there, and then that sucker ought to come on off of there. Alright, so I went to go grab me a pry bar here, so I'm trying to pry in this area here. So I'm starting to see some coolant seep out of there, so I guess that's a good sign. So there we go. There we go. There it is. One water pump deluxe is coming out. So actually, that's the movement you get right there when you wiggle the pulley. So what I'm gonna do now is transfer all the bolts from in that one to this one and begin putting this on. But before I put it on, I'm just gonna make sure the surface is nice and clean. So I got some plastic razor blades. So I'm just gonna clean that surface up, and then I'm gonna go with the new pump. All right, I was able to get some of the crude off with the plastic razor blade, but for some stuff I had to move to the metal one. So basically, I just got like a little scraper. I spraying some brake clean, and just kind of just gently trying to get that old gasket material off. I'm doing that without scratching the surface, so just want to be gentle with it because this is aluminum. Alright, so I got this thing cleaned up pretty good. So the new one is ready to go back into place. So that's what I'm about to do next. I'm about to stick it on there. Alright, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Just gonna slide this bad right here. Pretty much the first bolt I'm gonna put in is the one with this stud that goes right here. I don't even think this thing has any dowels on it. I think the bolts, actually a couple bolts maybe a little bit. So far I think it has any dowels on it. I'm looking at the old one real quick and see. I think some of these bolts are just, I won't say some of them aren't exact fit. Maybe like this right here I'm putting in. And I think that's what aligns it up. Some of them are not. But there are a couple of them that are. So I think that's what helps line it up. Kind of get feeling slid. Alright, so I got all the bolts in there pretty snug, so I'm going to torque them. I'm going to go all around all the bolts and torque them down to, the torque spec is 18 foot-pounds. So what I'm going to do is just hit them all, kind of just make sure they're all snug. And then I'm going to torque them with the torque wrench. I guess I'm going to start at the bottom, or you can start at the top. I was going to go around, but I think I'm just going to kind of go up, down, and just kind of bounce throughout it. I guess I should have tried that mix. That one is cute. So I'm going to get all this torque down. And next up, I'll be ready to put the belts in the tension roll. And I'm also going to replace this pulley right here too, while I'm in there. Alright, so I've got this bad boy almost back together. I got all the hoses on. This one down here, and I got the two heater hoses that go through the heater core. One little trick I like to use to get the hoses on, though it's not really that hard because it's got a new pump, but spray a little glass clean on the rubber and they just slide right on, no problem. So I got the thermostat housing. That's 10 foot-pounds or either 13 newton meters. The water pump, all the bolts for the water pump are 18 foot-pounds. So I got all that torqued up. So pretty much while I'm in here, I'm gonna spray a little bit of this awesome spray just to kind of get rid of some of this coolant varnish. And I'm gonna hose it down because when the water pump goes bad, especially if it's leaking, you get a little bit of coolant residue. So I'm gonna just try to see if I can get some of that off of here. So that's my cold air box. So the bottom part of it has got a little bit on there, and then the bottom side of the alternator. I'm gonna see if I take care of that real quick. Get that, you know, somewhat clean, and then I'm gonna replace those pulleys and install the new belt tensioner. All right, so I was able to take a little bit of cleaner. I'm sure something like Purple Power will work, or you know, anything at your disposal. Or pretty much like maybe like a full 9, or either what I had is pretty much like some Awesome spray, and I just kind of just sprayed it and just took a little brush, kind of brush some of the areas down like that, and just sprayed it off with a water hose. Just kind of clean it up in here just a little bit. So I was able to get most of that brown coolant residue off. So I got it looking a lot better. So it's still a little bit over there, but that'll be okay. Maybe one day when I'm detailing or something, I'll spray something down in here to kind of help get it off. But it's good enough for right now. All right, so next up, I'm gonna go ahead and replace this idler pulley. All right, so this is a 13. So just back it out counterclockwise. So I'm gonna get the new pulley and match it up. So there is like a little, kind of like a little groove or a notch right there. And also it's a groove on the other side of this bolt. So it kind of go like that. So let me get the new pulley ready to go on there. Alright, so here's the new pulley. Alright, so here's a new belt tensioner right here. The torque spec for this is 30 Newton meters. It has like a little alignment pin right here that's going to go into the water pump housing in this location right here. So there's a little dial there. I'm just going to put it right there and line it up. All right. All right, that's the 30 Newton meters. Well, that's the 30 foot-pounds. All right, that's the 30 foot-pounds. All right, so what I'm doing next is I'm going ahead, right before I put the belt on, I'm about to put the belt on, but I'm going ahead and put this securing this bracket, this top bracket for the AC lines. So go ahead and get that back in there, and then put on the belt, and then the fan clutch and the fan shroud, and this bad boy will be ready to run. All right, so next up, I'm gonna look at my picture I took earlier, and I'm gonna put the new belt on. All right, there we go. The belt is in. So I'll just make sure it's lining up good. Make sure it's in all the grooves. So I was able to get the fan clutch on there without no drama. I was able to get the fan shroud in there. So everything going smooth. Good in the hood. All right, so I got the ram back together. It's ready to fill it up with coolant, and I just wanted to show you guys one of my preferred methods of filling the cooling system. So this right here is an airlift. This is a vacuum filled cooling device. So what this does is this allows you to put the system under a vacuum. So you hook this up to compressed air. So this is the main gauge. It's got a cone fitting that fits multiple applications, and also some little adapters if you need them. But this right here is the hose for pulling the vacuum on the system. So you hook this up, you get it down to 25. I say 25 is good, but sometimes you can get 26 to 27 inches of vacuum. So you would do that, and another thing I normally like to do is while you got it pulled down to a vacuum, you want to do a leak check. So a leak check is usually anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes. That's where you check, see if you got a leak in the system. Like I just replaced the water pump and it had a small leak on it. So just to make sure I don't have anything else leaking, like a radiator, a hose, or anything like that. So if it holds vacuum for at least 2 minutes, anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes, then I know I don't have any leaks in the system, and I'm ready to fill the system with this hose right here. So another thing this device is good at is making sure you don't have any air bubbles in the system. So it eliminates the air bubbles. It also eliminates spending like several minutes, like I'm talking like 5 to 10 minutes, like holding a jug over the radiator trying to make sure you don't spill none. It eliminates that process of trying to fill the cooling system. So you can fill the cooling system in probably less than 5 minutes with this device. So and also the good benefit, like I said, leak check. That eliminates the process of having a pressure tested cooling system. It's pretty much an all-in-one process. Boom, boom, boom. When all your checks are good, you fill the system and you're ready to start the vehicle and drive off. so I just filled the cooling system and it's under a vacuum, so I'm waiting about 2 to 5 minutes. So it's still at the same reading, somewhere around 26 inches of vacuum. So that's an indication that I don't have any leaks. And I'm gonna get my coolant jug, stick this in there, and it's gonna suck the coolant in. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, so here's an update to the water pump video. It's actually been about 2 weeks. I was out late at night. Well, I guess I was up, late at night. Not too late, because I took a little break, went to eat dinner. Then I came back and basically finished it up. But it was probably, after I filled the cooling system and things like that, it was probably about, I want to say, somewhere like 12 o'clock, 12:30, when I got everything wrapped up. So this is about 2 weeks later. Been driving the truck, no issues. So I was just, just making a little section to wrap this video up. So we'll take a quick peek up under the hood real quick. I remote started it. I'm just letting it run for a little bit. So I'm gonna take my kids to Six Flags later on, so I'm gonna go ahead and crack these windows a little bit. Just letting it run for a little bit, and then we'll check up under the hood.
Recording. 2 channels started.
Alright, so it's a nice and sunny Sunday out here today. But so that's the water pump in here. Got the belt. Put a new belt tensioner and the idler pulley. So the belt tensioner comes with a pulley, of course, and the idler pulley is right here under the offload. So all that stuff is new. And I think it's running pretty good. No issues. All right, so I would say pretty much is nothing hard about the job. If you replace water pumps on anything else, I mean, it's pretty much almost the same thing. It's a belt-driven water pump, so it's similar to a Chevy, a Ford, or anything else. The only thing I would say is the fan clutch tool. I did have to order that, so I ordered one from Amazon. It worked out pretty good. I was gonna try to use a thumb wrench, which I could if it was big enough, but it wouldn't open up wide enough. But other than that, it's a pretty simple job. So other than getting the fan clutch, breaking that loose and getting that out, the only other thing is just it just has a bunch of bolts in there. That thing probably got, I think it's got, I want to say 13 bolts in it. So, and some of them are long and short. So that's pretty much why I pulled out my cart and just kind of got them, and used the new water pump. And as I took a bolt out, I put it in the exact location that it goes in. So staying organized is probably the main, staying organized and keeping up with your bolts. Pretty much once you do that, everything else is a breeze. So I want to say that job, if you do it yourself, you'll probably save yourself somewhere around $450, because I'm sure the Chrysler dealership is charging about $150 an hour. The job shows that now this is all daily time. Sometimes varies at different shops, but flat rate time, book time to do that job is about 3 hours. So most dealerships, then you got shop fees and slight taxes and stuff like that. So to do that job, it's probably somewhere between $450 to over $500. And then that part, I want to say that part list price for that part is like, I think $260 for the part. So doing it yourself, you can save about $750. I did buy the part off of Rock Auto. I was able to get it for, I want to say $150. I think I said it was. Yeah, I think it was $150. And then I also did the pulleys. Well, I did the idler pulley and then the belt tensioner, and it comes with a pulley, and then replace the belt. So it's not a bad job. So there's something, you know, you guys should probably attempt to do yourself, especially if you want to, you know, save some money. I'm sure the other Hemi engines are like that's in the Charger and the Challenger and stuff like that are very similar, but they have a different belt drive system. So the water pumps are probably a different part number and everything like that, because those have electric fans. But the front cover, like the alternator, is located. Because I know I put headers on a 5.7 Charger for one of my guys, one of my coworkers. He works in the detail department. I put some headers on there, and I had to take the alternator and some other stuff out to get to. I think I had to take the alternator out. Yeah, but I took the alternator out I had to get to something. But yeah, so I know that belt system and belt drive is a little bit different. Probably use a different water pump. But that's about it, man. Thank you guys for checking out Cool Fred's Garage. Until the next time, have a good one. Please like, subscribe, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. So if you guys like the content, you know, thanks for watching.